Hi everyone, I want to make a new tutorial on the Roland MC303 today, this time talking about the sequencer, but again talking about its arpeggiator, because I realized in the last video I made where I was only talking about the arpeggiator, I really forgot to mention many important things. And so yeah, that's what I want to do in this video. So not so much focusing on the sequencer yet, but I'm going to make another video just on the sequencer on the MC303. I was talking about the arpeggiator and the MC303 not having a hold button, which really is something that I really painfully miss in the MC303, because that means that when you have the arpeggiator switched on, you always need to, like so, you always need to have your fingers on the keys. You cannot simply push this hold button, let go of the keys, and then mess with other parameters and edit the sound, which I wish was possible in the MC303, but it's not. But that's not the only problem that the arpeggiator comes with. First of all, I want to find me a nice sound here. I want to go with a nice bass sound, which is the first sound in bank 3. And when it comes to recording these arpeggios, you can only do this in real time. You cannot program one long extended note that lasts throughout the whole pattern and have this note then trigger the arpeggiator, which would be a very nice thing to have, because then this is perfectly quantized and the length of the note is also perfect for the arpeggiator, but this is not possible because the arpeggiator can only be triggered with the keys, not with the notes that are stored in the sequencer already. So that is one thing which makes things very complicated. Then another problem is that some of these arpeggios are not 4/4. And well, 4/4 is the most common time signature for popular music, and so sometimes we expect things like arpeggios to be only played in 4/4. I am glad that this is not the case, that there are some other patterns stored in the MC303 for variation, so that you can also get to some unusual and more interesting results this way. But you have to analyze the arpeggios to see what they really are and to see how they are meant to be recorded. And this, I think, causes many problems. So I found a nice example for one of these 3/4 arpeggios in the MC303, which could let you think that this is actually a 4/4. So it is a bit misleading. When you listen to this, you could, especially when turning the accent rate down a bit, you could think that this is actually counted like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm going to lower the tempo a little bit so that it's easier to follow. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could think that this is how it's meant to be used, but then when you focus on the start of the arpeggio, you notice there are two notes. There's a low one and there's a high one. And you could try, I'm going to show you a way how to make it, how to skip the first note, how to actually use the arpeggio in a 4/4 kind of way, but actually it is not. It is a 3/4 and has to be counted like this. 1, 2, wait. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I actually made a pattern with this, and it sounds like this, with a different accent rate setting though, more like this, and this is what it sounds like. So of course the pattern must be set to, it isn't shown in the display. Once you have set it, it doesn't show up anymore. Okay, but we are going to create a new pattern and kind of try to rebuild this in a similar way, maybe. Yeah, okay. So the first thing we want to do is find the right tone. I had to dial that back in and maybe set the tempo, maybe to something like 102 or so. And now I want to make a setup right so I don't lose these tempo and tone settings. And now I'm in record mode, and now I want to change this to 3/4 and to a length of only 2 bars. And now I'm going to press play and try to record the arpeggio. And you can hear that already the metronome is in a 3/4 mode. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, and this worked out quite nicely, but well, actually, I think I should really do this wrong first, because I want to show you another problem that can come up. So this, by the way, this is real-time erase. You press, while recording, you press Shift and erase, and then for as long as you have your finger on the record button, this cancels out all the notes that you have recorded. To get out of this mode again press Shift and erase, and now you can record again. Okay, so I said I wanted to do something wrong here, and this is keeping the finger on the key for too long, so that it's, when you hold this down over the loop point, then you start layering notes and cause this phasing effect, which really sounds wrong. And that's what I want to demonstrate here. 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, and also, like I just noticed, I missed the start point. So this is going to sound really bad now playing this back. You hear this phasing effect. And also, I don't know, I think this is kind of shifted and it doesn't really start on the one. Yeah, this is now in the wrong place. And also there's this phasing effect from not releasing the finger soon enough. So we have to do this again. So press record, and maybe to make it easier we should now dial in a slower tempo, maybe really only 80 beats per minute. In order to keep this, we want to make a setup right again. Okay, and now do the whole thing. No, first of all, so we don't have to listen to it, we can also erase the notes that we have recorded using the erase command. Simply like this. We want to erase from measure 1 for all the measures, and then we confirm, press enter, yes, okay, and now we can start the recording again. 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, too late. Not much of a phasing effect, because now that we have a lower slower tempo, that was okay, but this is not the right start point. I missed the right start point. I have to press the key down a little too early in order for the note to drop in the right place. Very quirky stuff here going on in the MC303, and you really have to get used to it and be a bit patient with yourself, and you need yeah, you need kind of good timing for this. So again, I'm erasing this part. Press enter. Yes. Okay. And now again, we listen to the metronome. Now try to put the note or to hit the key a bit earlier. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This worked out nicely now. Of course, now this is too slow. So we put it back to 102 and make a setup right again right away. And now I think this should be an okay result. Not much of a, you don't hear much phasing or anything. Okay, so, but what if we actually wanted to use this in this other kind of way, more like a 4/4? This is possible through a couple of edit commands, but I'm going to tell you right away, you cannot record this in real time so that you hit the key earlier and have the second note come on the very first downbeat. The machine won't allow you to do that. It will squeeze this first note, this lower note in at some point, and you just have to accept it. There is a way to get around that though with the shift clock command. So but there's also a problem associated with that. Shift clock basically lets you move all the notes in their position. You can move all the notes to an earlier or a later position in the grid. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But the problem is when you move all the notes to an earlier place, then you have a gap in the end, and the notes that are kind of pushed out of the grid are simply erased. They don't show up in the pattern anymore. And so what we need to do, we need to create another pattern. I'm going to oh yeah, I think I want to erase this first. Delete the whole thing. Okay, so select all the parts, all, yeah, all, sure, yes. Okay, so now we have a initialized pattern and we want to keep this as 4/4, but make this 3 bars. So one more than we had before. And also we want a different tempo. We want this to be, yeah, we can make this 102 already. Doesn't matter so much. And okay, now we start the recording. Okay, but oh, I didn't even have the Arpeggiator on yet. So now this is 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need to dial in. Now it doesn't matter so much if we release the finger a little too early in this case, but I want to get back to the right sound. Bank 3. Sound 1, and now again make a setup right before we lose all these changes. Sure. Yes, okay. Okay, now this is pretty much the same as we had before, only now it's 3 bars, but now we can use the shift clock command on this bass part and simply move all the notes to an earlier position, which pushes out or the very first note out of the grid. And now you have to know a couple of technical things here. The resolution in the MC303 is 96 pulses per quarter note. If you look at a 4/4 pattern, 16 steps for one measure, downbeats on 1, 5, 9, and 13. One quarter note consists of 4 steps. And pulses per quarter note means that one step key equals 24 pulses. 24 times 4 equals 96, if I'm not mistaken. So by pushing this value, by moving all these notes to an earlier position, we eliminate this first note that was in the pattern, which was a 16th note, by the way. So we get rid of this first note, and we now have, when we confirm, we have the pattern start on the second, this high bass note now. So that's what we wanted. But now we have one measure too many at the end of the pattern. So we want to erase that or delete that. We want to delete that measure, but we have to be careful because when we delete all of this, when this is set to all, then we're also losing our tempo and tone settings. So I think we need to set this to phrase, and now we can get rid of the last measure. That's too many. And I hope I'm not telling you anything wrong here. Maybe set, it could also be set. I'm not sure. Okay, before I do this, I'm going to make a safety copy of this pattern, just in case something goes wrong with the edit. I can recall it and then do this again. So first of all, I'm going to copy this pattern, edit, and pattern, yes, all of it. Oh no, I don't even have to do that. Destination to U25. Okay, so now we have made a copy, and now we can edit here without losing anything. So press delete, function plus shift plus pad key number 4. We want to delete, no, we don't want to delete all, we want to delete the phrase from 3. Yes, for all the rest. Sure. Okay. Now let's see. Length is 2 now. Okay, so I think we did the right thing here. Now let's listen to it. Yes, we still have our sound, still have our tempo, and we have now the pattern or the phrase, the bass phrase starts on this note that we wanted, the second note. It sounds a bit wonky, like the accent, yeah, like the way this is accented, and I don't really know why. Maybe 24 pulses wasn't the right value. But I mean, we could correct this with the play quantize function, where we can select a grid and okay, resolution 16th notes. Let's see what happens. And yeah, to edit this with this quantized value, we need to press edit plus pad key number 11, quantize, Sure, yes, I want to quantize this. Now let's listen to it. I think that sounds a bit more accurate now. And we don't have anything overlapping here. Clean cut, no phasing in the beginning or anything like that. So I think that's what we wanted to get at. Yeah, okay, that was confusing. I hope it made sense to you. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments. I'll see you in the next one talking about the sequencer. Thanks a lot for watching and bye bye.